The notion that vaccines and global warming are lies used to oppress Christians is a complex and multifaceted issue. It is essential to acknowledge that this perspective is not universally accepted and is often met with controversy. However, for the sake of exploring this idea, let's delve into the arguments presented by some groups and individuals who subscribe to this belief. According to some, vaccines are seen as a tool of oppression, perpetuated by governments and pharmaceutical companies to control populations, particularly Christians. This narrative suggests that vaccines are not only ineffective, but also contain harmful ingredients that can alter human genetics, compromise immune systems, and even implant microchips for tracking purposes. Some argue that this is a deliberate attempt to undermine Christian values, such as the sanctity of life and the importance of natural health. Proponents of this theory often cite biblical passages, such as Psalm 138:8, which states, "The Lord will fulfill his purpose for me, his steadfast love, O God, endures forever. Do not forsake the work of your hands." They interpret this as a call to trust in God's plan and reject man-made interventions like vaccines that allegedly seek to disrupt the natural order. Moreover, some Christian groups believe that the push for vaccination is a covert attempt to impose a one-world government where individuals are forced to conform to a secular, humanistic agenda that contradicts their faith. Similarly, the concept of global warming is viewed by some as a fabricated crisis, designed to manipulate and dominate Christians. This perspective posits that the scientific consensus on climate change is exaggerated or entirely fabricated, and that the actual goal is to impose a socialist, eco-friendly ideology that undermines Christian principles. Some argue that the emphasis on environmentalism and sustainability is, in fact, a thinly veiled attempt to promote a pagan, Western worldview that contradicts the biblical mandate to subdue and dominate the earth, Genesis 1:28. Those who subscribe to this narrative often point to the perceived hypocrisy of environmentalists and governments who, they claim, prioritize the protection of the planet over human life and Christian values. For instance, they argue that the push for renewable energy and reduced carbon emissions is, in reality, a smokescreen for implementing policies that restrict individual freedoms, redistribute wealth, and promote a secular, humanist agenda. Despite the fervor with which these arguments are presented, it is crucial to acknowledge the overwhelming scientific consensus on the importance of vaccines and the reality of global warming. The vast majority of medical professionals and climate scientists agree that vaccines are a safe and effective means of preventing the spread of diseases, and that human activities are significantly contributing to the warming of the planet. Moreover, many Christian denominations and organizations have explicitly endorsed the use of vaccines and the need to address climate change, citing biblical principles of stewardship, compassion, and care for creation. In conclusion, while the idea that vaccines and global warming are lies used to oppress Christians is a contentious and disputed notion, it is essential to engage with the concerns and perspectives of those who hold this view. However, it is equally important to recognize the overwhelming scientific evidence and the biblical principles that support the use of vaccines and the need to address climate change. By promoting respectful dialogue, critical thinking, and an nuanced understanding of these complex issues, we can work towards a more informed and compassionate discourse that values both faith and reason. Ultimately, it is crucial to approach these topics with empathy, acknowledging the diversity of perspectives within the Christian community and the broader society, and striving to find common ground that promotes the well-being of all people on the planet.